In the village of Liadi, on Chai Elul Tov Kuf Hey, the Alter Rebbe was born. When he was 19 years old, the Alter Rebbe traveled to Mizrich to learn Torah from the Baal Shem Tov's successor, the Mizritcher Maggid. After the Mizritcher Maggid passed away, the responsibility for Poland, Ukraine and Russia were divided up amongst the Talmidim of the Mizritcher Maggid. Menachem Mendel of Vitebsk was responsible for Ukraine and Lithuania. When the battle with the Misnagim intensified, Reb Menachem Mendel left for Eretz Yisrael. The Alter Rebbe also joined the trip to Eretz Yisrael. When he reached Mogilev, he was convinced to remain in Russia. The Alter Rebbe became the leader of Hasidim in Russia and soon had tens of thousands of followers. The Alter Rebbe wrote down the foundations of Hasidus Chabad in the Tanya. In Tov Kuf Nun Zayin, it was printed for the first time. Since then, due to the campaign of the Rebbe, the Tanya has been printed over 5,000 times all around the world.
Many of the Rabbanim and Geonim of the Alter Rebbe's time were against the Alter Rebbe's new and revolutionary teachings of Hasidus, because they were afraid that the simple people would think that they could be just as close to Hashem as the biggest Rav. They told the Russian police that the Alter Rebbe was bad because he was going against the government. This happened just after the people of France overthrew their king, and so the Tsar of Russia was very afraid that something similar might happen in his government, and took this very seriously. One of the 22 complaints that the government had against the Alter Rebbe was that he was trying to overthrow the Tsar by supporting the Sultan of Turkey. Years earlier, the Alter Rebbe had started the Chabad and encouraged the Hasidim to support the Yidden living in Eretz Yisrael, which was then under Turkish rule. The Alter Rebbe was arrested and taken to the Peter Paul fortress in the city of Petersburg. In order to answer the accusations against him, the Alter Rebbe had to explain, both in speech and in writing, some of the deepest inyanim in Hasidus to his non-Jewish interrogators. They were so impressed by his answers that they spoke of him to Tsar Paul I, who decided to cross the Neva River from his palace to meet the Alter Rebbe. The Alter Rebbe writes about this, and the truth became known even to the ministers who arrested him. While in prison, the Alter Rebbe was visited by his Rebbe, Mizritcher Maggid, and the Baal Shem Tov, who had passed away many years before. "Why have I been put in prison?" the Alter Rebbe asked. The Rabbeim answered, "There is a decree on you from Shamayim, because you have taken the highest secrets of the Torah and have spread them across this low earth." The Alter Rebbe asked, "When I am let out, should I stop teaching Hasidus?" "No, on the contrary," they answered. "Now that you have broken the barriers, you should continue even more than before." And so, after the Alter Rebbe's release, new and even deeper teachings of Hasidus spread far and wide.
The high status of the important prisoner is recognized by the Russian government. They install a special wax statue of the Alter Rebbe that you can see till today in the museum at the prison.
On Yud Tes Kislev, the Rebbe would farbring late into the night, sometimes for even as long as 5 or 6 hours. The Rebbe is a descendant of the Alter Rebbe. In fact, the Rebbe's last name, Schneerson, comes from the Alter Rebbe's name, Schneer. The name Schneer means two lights. It was his parents, through Ruach HaKodesh, who gave him this name, hinting to the two parts of the Torah that he lit up. In Nigla, with the Shulchan Aruch that he wrote, and through teaching Hasidus, with the Sefer HaTanya. The Baal Shem Tov once went into the Heichal of Mashiach and asked, "Ei Mosai Ka'asi Mar, when will you come? And Mashiach answered, the Sefer HaTanya is the basis, the Torah Shebiksav of Chabad Hasidus. The Tanya explains that every Yid has a part of Hashem in him, and that by acting according to Hashem's wishes, he can make a dira betachtonim, a dwelling place for Hashem in this world. In the year Tafshin Nun Dalid, Ksavim, handwritten notes with deep explanations on Tanya, written by the Rebbe between the year Tafresh Tzadik and Tafshin Yud Dalid, 1930 to 1954, were found. Today, Mashpiyim and Talmidei Chachamim are working on these Ksavim, preparing them to be printed. Alter Rebbe writes regarding his release from prison, as I was reading the Pasuk in Tehillim, Pada b'shalim nafshi, my soul was freed in peace. Even before I reached the next Pasuk, I was released from prison. The Alter Rebbe was respectfully told that he was free to continue his work. Later, a nigun was composed to these psukim. The mimer that the Rebbe would say on Yud Tes Kislev would often begin with this pasuk. The Alter Rebbe composed 10 nigunim. The best known among them is the nigun Dalid Bavis, which is only sung on very serious times or under a chuppah. Every year on Yud Tes Kislev, we would hear the Rebbe make a siyum on the whole Shas. And every year, the Rebbe would again divide the entire Shas to be finished throughout the year, everyone taking a Masechta. And we would see the Rebbe take upon himself a Masechta to finish that year.
As his predecessor, the Alter Rebbe, did, the Rebbe would always demand action. It is not enough to gather for a Farbrengen and rekindle your spirit. There must also be a practical resolution in your own life. The end result must be action.
Alter Rebbe's son, the Mittel Rebbe, re-establishes Chassidus in Lubavitch. Chassidus flourishes over there for many generations, until finally the Frierdiker Rebbe brought it to the other side of the world, where his son-in-law, our Rebbe, took over, concluding the mission set by Mashiach to the Baal Shem Tov, that he will come when Chassidus is spread all over the world. It is now our mission to continue that, to make sure that there is not one corner in this world that is left without the beautiful Torahs of